from PRX.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So, whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about the mattress I love sleeping in. We're talking about Helix Sleep, and that's my first question. Do you love the mattress you're sleeping in? Does it fit your needs, your feel preferences, what makes you comfortable? If it's not a solid yes, go to helixsleep.com/sleep and take the Helix quiz and find a mattress that you will love. Every time I'm away from my Helix this summer, I miss it. And then literally I start laughing when I get in bed now because I say, holy cow, I love this mattress. It's so comfortable. And one of the main reasons it's comfortable is I took the Helix quiz and I got matched with a mattress that fits my needs, my feel preferences, the fact that I get hot when I sleep, that I like to sleep on my side and my stomach, that I like something firmer. You deserve a mattress that you laugh when you get in because you love it. So you say, hey, I missed you a lot. Not only that, Helix comes with a 120-night sleep trial, a lifetime limited warranty. There's free shipping and seamless delivery. Helix delivers the mattress right to your door with free shipping in the U.S. They have the Happy with Helix guarantee, so you can rest easy with seamless returns and exchanges. The Happy with Helix guarantee offers a risk-free, customer-first experience designed to ensure you're completely satisfied with your new mattress. And Helix is the most awarded mattress brand, tested and reviewed by experts like Forbes and Wired. And of course, they've got a deal for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. Get over there. Take that quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary, it's time for the podcaster who, if he had shoulder pads, or epaulets, I think they'd be pillows, whose epaulets are pillows and his shoulder pads are poofy. So you could rest your head here. You could snuggle in there. And I could try to figure out a punchline, but the punchline probably ain't coming. Poofy shoulder pads are as good as it gets because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast to put you to sleep. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots, and we're talking about a new sponsor tonight, Talkiatry. And we all know that trying to figure out how to get the right mental health treatment for you can feel overwhelming. Talkiatry helps you move from, yeah, I know I need some help, to actually having a psychiatrist who listens and gives you a clear, personalized treatment plan. Talkiatry is a 100% online psychiatry practice that provides comprehensive evaluations, diagnoses, and ongoing medication management for conditions like ADHD, anxiety, depression, and more. Unlike therapy-only platforms, Talkiatry is psychiatry. You're seeing a medical provider who can diagnose mental health conditions and prescribe medication when it's appropriate. All 800-plus clinicians are in-network with major insurers, so you can use your existing insurance instead of paying monthly subscriptions or out-of-network costs. You can meet with a licensed psychiatrist who takes the time to understand what's going on, builds a personalized treatment plan, and supports you over time with consistent evidence-based care. Getting started takes just a few minutes. Complete a short online assessment, get matched with clinicians who fit your needs, and schedule your first visit in days, not months. And because you continue with the same provider, you're not starting over each visit. Your treatment can evolve with you, so you're actually making progress over time. More than 300,000 patients have already found high-quality psychiatric care through Talkiatry. So head to talkiatry.com/sleep to complete Complete the short assessment and get matched with an in-network psychiatrist in just a few minutes. That's talkiatry.com/sleep to get matched in a few minutes. TALKIATRY.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Drew Scooter, and I just want to lay out some of the goals I have for Sleep With Me, which really haven't changed much in the history of the podcast. So my biggest goal is not to put you to sleep, but to bring you some comfort, relief, some peace of mind, some good company in the deep, dark night, a friendly distraction, maybe bring you some sleepy joy and delight so you could fall asleep. But if you can't sleep, or it's really difficult, or whatever it is that you're dealing with, that you know somebody's there for you, somebody's there with you, that you could just listen to and you don't really have to pay attention to. Because that's what I always wanted my whole life, particularly when I was younger and I couldn't sleep at all, was just some kind of comforting presence to help me fall asleep or to get through the night. So those are the main goals of the show. I'm not sure if you share any of those goals. If you already do, you're saying, yes, Scoots, you've done all that for me. Spread the word about the podcast or sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus so we can keep doing that. And I guess the secondary goals of the show are to make sure the podcast is free for anyone that needs it, who couldn't pay, or for anybody to discover it, maybe just like you did, not knowing it's out there, not knowing what it's like until they try it out a few times and they say, holy cow, I had no idea this would work for me, but I'm so glad I found it. Or for people that just need the podcast every once in a while when they're going through a really, really tough time. Those are the secondary goals. And I guess the third level goals is I'd like to keep making this show long into the future. I'd like this podcast to keep coming out on a regular basis. So if any of those goals, the primary goals of the show, the secondary goals of the show, or the third level goals of the show resonate for you, if any of those goals impact you, could you please consider supporting the show in one of those two ways? It's so powerful. And then you could be a part of those goals coming true. You could say to yourself every single night, I let 5 people know about the podcast. I let 1 person know about the podcast. Or, and this is the truth, my $60 a year changed the entire history of Sleep With Me. My $240 a year, my $7 a month. It's what makes the difference between the show being here for free for people to discover it, to bring people that sleepy joy and delight. And I'm so proud of that. Either one will change the future of the podcast, will make all those goals come true. Just like our first episode was you make my dreams come true. This next episode coming out, this episode is a community effort, really. And if you want to be a part of that community effort, please consider supporting the show by spreading the word or supporting it directly. Thanks. Oh, Mystery Bart, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bart. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support, dear Scooter, on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mr. Bart. Don't forget, if you haven't heard about Surprised by Scooter, if you're spreading the word about the show, you're tagging me in social media or emailing me through the form on our website, I'm going to surprise some people who are spreading the word about the show, just letting people genuinely know about their experience with the podcast, with subscriptions to Sleep With Me Plus, maybe a personal video, maybe some stickers, who knows? So get out there and be surprised by Scoots. Thanks, everybody. What do you say we get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. we do it a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you can set aside whatever's keeping you awake. Try to create a safe place where you set aside whatever's keeping you awake. Oh, whether it's thoughts, feelings, forgetful podcast hosts, physical sensations, emotions, bubbling up, creeping up, that you're experiencing. Whether you're out of town on the road, you're anticipating travel, or you just returned from travel, you got to work tomorrow, whatever it is, I'm here to help. I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, rusty tangents, extra, words like that, false starts in the middle, right in the middle. You see, you can't have a false start in the middle of the sentence, can you? And I would say, you would say, could I? Maybe I can. But there's going to be here's the thing. If you're new, I'm here to help. I'm here to help put you to sleep, but mostly I'm here to be here while you fall asleep, to keep you company if you can't sleep, to be here, to try to help, and to take your mind off whatever's keeping you awake. And the structure of the show, if you're new, starts off with a few minutes of business. That's how we keep the show going. You can find all that stuff on our website, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. And then there's an intro. The intro's around 12 minutes or so long. It's a show within a show. Some people skip it. Most people put it on while they're getting ready for bed or while they're getting into bed and getting settled. But if you're new, test it out, see how it works. The podcast is a little bit different. After the intro, we're going to talk about The Good Place, the TV show. And we'll be talking about episodes 11 and 12. It'll be mostly things of what color is Michael's tie? What pattern is it? What did that sign say? Yeah, what does it mean? What does it mean to have sandpaper, sandpaper sand or something? I don't know. What kind? This didn't come up, but this would be. It'd say, what kind of sand do they use in sandpaper? Is it the same kind of sand that gets in my pants and then in my bed? Like if you go somewhere, and you say there's sand in my bed. Is this? And I never thought about that to say it feels like sandpaper. Has anyone ever started a sandpaper business based on reclaimed sand? I mean, I know sand is constantly being reclaimed, but no one ever brags about it because it's usually reclaimed from someplace. They say, oh, this fine sandy beach was reclaimed from the bottom of a bog. Bottom of a bog has a nice ring to it. Oh, good. So the intros are where I go off topic. I'll be trying to explain something like how we talk about The Good Place. Then I'll go off topic. Then I'll try to come back. So the structure of the show. Sorry. Intro, talk about The Good Place. I'll have some thank yous. There's some business between the intro and the Good Place talk. But really, this should be a good place to sleep. And now, it doesn't work for everybody. Give it a few tries. But here's the thing. You don't really need to listen to me. I'll probably be talking about sand and bogs and reclaiming sand in a minute and trying to make that in a metaphor for the podcast. So that's what I'm going to do. That's during the intro. You don't need to listen to me. That's what I think I was saying. You can kind of listen. Hopefully I'll be just engaging enough to take your mind off of stuff. And you say, well, yeah, you're right, Scoots. People are getting stuff like reclaimed from barns. There's reclaimed wood. Like they say, well, this wood was at the bottom of a river and we reclaimed it. First off, no offense, but I'd say that's malarkey because I'm just having fun. I'd say, listen, wood baron, that's a bunch of malarkey. Take me to the spot where there was all this wood at the bottom of the river. And how'd you find it? And they say sonar. I say, oh, okay, touche. They say it's a well-known thing. That I say, okay, never mind. I won't use you as an example anymore. I'll go to the sand reclaimers next. So you don't need to listen to me. Hopefully I'll be just, but you've heard of those things like they say, well, this was reclaimed from an old barn. They say, well, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Say reclaimed from the bottom of a bog. You'd say, well, I'm not too sure about that. Reclaimed from a river, fine by me. We're interesting folks, us human beings. And let me just follow my thoughts for a minute. You say, well, reclaimed at a barn. Well, I like looking at barns, but I guess if it's going to fall over, or it already did, maybe. But I like looking at fallen over barns too when I'm driving by. But maybe there's I don't know. So I'll stay out of that. I'm just saying that's what my thoughts would be if I was going to pay. I don't have money to buy anything reclaimed except for when it's in the scratch and dent bin. But yeah, that's my reaction. I'm just giving an example. And if you said, this sand was reclaimed out of the bottom of a bog, and believe me, I'm a bog lover. But you wouldn't get anybody other than somebody with expertise that loves bogs more than me. Also, hold on while I Google what a bog is, if it's not the same thing I'm imagining. But, I would still be like, they say, before you lie down in this fine sand we have here at our private beaches, maybe you get the right staff member. You say, hey, you're just wondering, is this natural sand? No, no, it's reclaimed sand. Because this isn't a natural, this isn't a natural beach. It's a reclaimed sand beach. You say, oh, really? Where'd you reclaim it from? Oh, the bottom of, old Bunker Hill bog or something. You say, wait a second, that's not true. You can't have a bog. And I don't know anything about bogs, but I know you can't have it on a hill. You say, well, it's just a terminology. Okay, but anyway, this sand came from the bottom of a bog. Did you clean it first? That's what I'd ask right away. Even though, no offense, bogs, that's just a gut reaction. I know you're probably, you're the circle of life. Who am I to say, are you clean or not? I mean, obviously, this pristine white beach in my mind. But that really is a lot of times. I mean, the only place I know really is like, I think I was taking a ferry at Disneyland once, and they said, yeah, we got all this white sand from the bottom of this bog. And then they came and they said, sir, you're no longer commander of this vessel. You're out of work. We don't use terms like bog here. We call it a lagoon. And I said, come here, I'll hold you. Well, one day I'll use you as an example on my podcast of why people don't need to listen to me. They said, come on, Captain Joan, let me pat you here. Come on. It's okay. I think it's a bog too. But this is really bogging down the intro, if you don't mind me punning around. But did you ever notice that? You say, well, yeah, I don't know if I want. And then they say, okay, well, what about this beautifully polished table here? Reclaimed you'd have to use some sort of adjective first about the type of river it was. I don't think pristine. Mighty. I think mighty. Is that an adjective or an adverb? But you'd say the mighty, Gooseneck River. Oh boy, really? This table was reclaimed wood from the bottom of the Gooseneck River. Oof! Wow. How much does it cost again? Oh goodness, yeah. I'm sorry. I'll go to IKEA. They reclaim it from like sawdust or something, and contact paper. Reclaimed from their finest composite materials. But that would be the most marketable. I don't know what any of this, I make this podcast. Sometimes I go on tangents and say, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But you don't need to listen to me. And there shouldn't be, under no pressure to fall asleep. I'll be here, just bogged down in my own mind, trying to reclaim my thoughts. That's actually what this podcast is. It does have reclaimed thoughts from a pristine, mighty river, by the way, not from a bog. Except I think I'm like, when I did one of those mail-in things, they say, okay, take a pluck of your hair. It came back, I was 85% bog. You say, really, huh? 85% bog, 14% peat moss. And I said, what the heck? Like, and then it was one of those, I guess it was one of those comedy ones where you mail it in and then they, send you something back hilarious. If that doesn't exist, by the way, I just patented that idea. The comedy ancestry kit, except it wasn't funny to me. I said, really, I'm 88% bog, peat moss. I don't even know, like I said, I couldn't even tell you a peat moss from a regular moss. And I said, isn't peat moss in a bog? I think I accidentally read that in a headline recently. Okay, let me get back to the new listeners, though. So you don't need to listen to me. No pressure to fall asleep, though. I'll be here for about an hour to keep you company, to be your friend in the deep, dark night. And if you can't fall asleep, I'll be here to the very end. I think I may have just said that, but because I know there's some of you, I don't know. I know what it's like to lie there tossing and turning, but really just settle in. Like maybe what if, how about this? What if this, here's a business idea. We reclaim peat moss and bogs and we come up with a new system where you're floating. I don't exactly, can't picture peat moss exactly, but the finest purified peat moss, steeped in alliteration, and you can float on there in a bog, pristine bog, pristine-ified from all, living stuff that would get on your nerves. And you can just float there. And Scoots will tell you a tale infused with, organic scents, and the good kind. Come in like the oils. And, calming music, massages, massaging waves. All that in my peat bog. Yeah, that's kind of what the podcast attempts to do, but I'll be here talking to you to keep you company. And ideally, you'll drift off on that, like your little patch of peat moss, floating around, getting comfortable. And so that's what I'm here for. It doesn't work for everybody, clearly, because I don't even know, like it was a surprise. I thought I was like sugar and spice and everything nice. And they said, what? No. And I said, and, puppy dog tails. I realized that. And then I said, I'm already at the end of the intro, but who came up with that anyway? Who was this, who in the 1940s was against, they said, puppy tails, leave the puppy tails alone. And yeah, I'm aspirational. I said, one day I hope to be made up of sugar and spice. Well, I probably not, because they said then somebody's going to try to make a friggin' cookie out of me. At least if I'm made up of a bog and a peat moss. When you're made up of bogs and peat moss, so you have trouble saying stuff sometimes. They say, at least people will leave me alone. And I say, well, that makes sense. That's why I'm a kind of independent being. It all came together. When I looked at those results, I can't tell you the other percentages because I'm not good at math, one. And two, most of the other ones are things that witches put in their cauldrons in cartoons, like Eye of Newt, 0.5% Eye of Newt. And they said, who? Oh, man. And I said, wait a second, Eye of Newt? I've always wanted, I said, doesn't it give me some special powers, though? If it only had 1%, that's when you get the special powers. Same thing with dragon scales, 0.075%. It doesn't take hold until you're at 0.25. So even in strange ingredients you could be made of, I'm on the downside. But whatever, but you say, well, likely careers, putting people to sleep, number one. And they say other people sharing these results, it was very low. So whatever. I'm making the most of what I have. And I don't know. I thought I was trying to make a small metaphor about the podcast there. But yeah, I'm here to help. I'm here to help with the ingredients I have to work with. And I hope it helps you put to sleep. But it doesn't work for everybody. You listen to somebody ramble on about bogs and reclaiming sand. When is when are they going to say, one day, maybe I say, put the friggin' sand back. And then I'll be the most, say, Scoots, what happened to all our beaches? Oh, well, here's the thing. I declaimed them. one night when I did get extra dragon scale and nuke power, I flew across the world. It gathered up all the sand, kind of without planning it out first. So I may have taken sand. I may have declaimed sand and accidentally reclaimed it, kind of unclaimed it somewhere else. Yeah, basically I took all the beaches and threw them in bogs. And then the bog report would be, we're live from bogs around the world, which have been filled with sand, overfilled. We're here with the representative of the frogs. They'd say, well, we blame the newts and the dragons because we know what it was the newts were behind this. They say, not again. I just go back to sticking to making a sleep podcast, which is what I do best. I'm a bit goofy, but I'm here to help. So give it a few tries. I really work hard, believe it or not. I strive and I yearn to help you fall asleep. Thank you so much for coming by. And let's listen to a couple ways we keep the show going. Hey, everybody, this is Drew Scooter. And I just want to lay out some of the goals I have for Sleep With Me, which really haven't changed much in the history of the podcast. So my biggest goal is not to put you to sleep, but to bring you some comfort, relief, some peace of mind, some good company in the deep, dark night, a friendly distraction, maybe bring you some sleepy joy and delight so you could fall asleep. But if you can't sleep or it's really difficult or whatever it is that you're dealing with, that somebody's there for you, somebody's there with you that you could just listen to and you don't really have to pay attention to. Because that's what I always wanted my whole life, particularly when I was younger and I couldn't sleep at all, was just some kind of comforting presence to help me fall asleep or to get through the night. So those are the main goals of the show. I'm not sure if you share any of those goals. If you already do, you're saying, yes, Scoots, you've done all that for me. Spread the word about the podcast or sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus so we can keep doing that. And I guess the secondary goals of the show are to make sure the podcast is free for anyone that needs it, who couldn't pay, or for anybody to discover it, maybe just like you did, not knowing it's out there, not knowing what it's like until they try it out a few times and they say, holy cow, I had no idea this would work for me, but I'm so glad I found it. Or for people that just need the podcast every once in a while when they're going through a really, really tough time. Those are the secondary goals. And I guess the third level goals is I'd like to keep making this show long into the future. I'd like this podcast to keep coming out on a regular basis. So if any of those goals, the primary goals of the show, the secondary goals of the show, or the third level goals of the show resonate for you, if any of those goals impact you, could you please consider supporting the show in one of those two ways? It's so powerful. And then you could be a part of those goals coming true. You could say to yourself every single night, I let 5 people know about the podcast. I let 1 person know about the podcast. Or, and this is the truth, my $60 a year changed the entire history of Sleep With Me. My $240 a year, my $7 a month. It's what makes the difference between the show being here for free for people to discover it, to bring people that sleepy joy and delight. And I'm so proud of that. Either one will change the future of the podcast, will make all those goals come true. Just like our first episode was you make my dreams come true. This next episode coming out, this episode is a community effort, really. And if you want to be a part of that community effort, please consider supporting the show by spreading the word or supporting it directly. Thanks. All right, so we're talking season 1, episode 11 and 12, starting with episode 11, What's My Motivation? And really, it sounds like a line from like a classical actress, like a femme fatale would say that to a director. Yeah, but yeah, so it opens with, let's see, what's my motivation? Bigger than pocket. Oh, there's on Michael's desk is something that's bigger than a pocket watch. He's with the ethics team. Final point totals. Oh, Eleanor came in number 6 with 2,513,654. I don't know if we ever got Cheaty score. Cheaty is number 16 in the neighborhood. Who are the people in our neighborhood? Well, Cheaty's in our neighborhood with 1,948,668. We know that Jason is second. I can't remember his point totals. And then 321 out of 322 people, I think, is Tahani. She still has 997,485. Probably a bit of a burn for her to be under 1 million. Let's see. Michael's desk. He's with the ethics team. Final point totals. Eleanor 6. Crazy high Eleanor. That's funny. I put the formula question mark. And then he says the average. He says roughly. I said, what kind of angel uses the term roughly when it comes to mathematics? I said, you're rocking my Euclidean ideals here, Michael. I don't know what that means, by the way. But I just thought it sounded good. He says the average for a resident up there is 1,222,821. So that's really not that bad for Tahani, because she's only like 300,000 below average. Eleanor, on the other hand, she has negative 4,008 points, which I think underlies her point that it's like, hey, well, what about a medium place? Negative 4,000 to me, that's pretty medium. Negative 5 points, Cubase, negative 5 points, smug. I don't know what that means, but then Eleanor gets, I think maybe she loses 5 points for saying something about a caboose or something snarky, or something. Then she's holding the door and waving. I think that's what I hopefully I have it written down here. Tahani says how many points that's worth. Let's see. I think I have it in here. But she's holding the door and waving. I would say that you should give her a lot of points. I mean, I love when people, that's my move, is waving and holding doors. And I said, well, okay, that's not getting any points. I think it's worth like something like 10 points maybe. Let's see. I know it's tedious. Oh, no, 3 points. And she said, if you do it for everyone in the neighborhood, that's 1,000 points. So 1,000 divided by 3, I believe, is like 333.3333, a bunch of threes. So that means there's like 300, whatever even a number that splits by 2, if they're going to have, how come, I mean, I'm not like, they always have one person. I mean, I guess once you watch the whole season, but what do they call them? Life goal. What are the people called? Life goals. The person you're supposed to love forever. I'm not kidding. My brain is totally drawn a blank. They say, Cheaty, this is your love lifer, your pair, your perfect match. It's not. It's something like that. I'll think of it, but how come there's no poly ones? I mean, really, I mean, maybe in the next season there is. I don't know, because they just really, they're very open-minded and they cover a lot of things. Tahani does not know what Walmart is. She has a small teal planner. Not really a planner, though, Scoots. It was more of it kind of seemed like something, like it had a place for a small steno pad. And it was more for taking notes, but it was nice. But it didn't, like, I guess it maybe, I don't know, a tutor, what does that say, versus Spice Girls. Someone versus, the Spice Girls and Archbishop Desmond Tutu had a falling out that Tahani had to deal with. Cheaty and Eleanor, I love your awkwardness. I don't know what that means. Jason's wedding ring is like off the charts. I put, is that a wedding ring? Question mark. Huge. And Michael's not my dad. So much gold. I mean, if you're not watching the show, do it tomorrow. How many tongues would you want me to kiss you with? I'm not a girl. So Jason and Pillboy talking the top 10 swap cities and guac money and showing their best friends. Amy Akuda from who played Tinkerbell like a while back on a show that had a huge influence on this podcast. Did I say a show that had a few food influence on this podcast or a huge influence on this podcast? But she was on the Guild. She was one of the stars of the Guild, so check that out. They're talking turkey, though. Cafe, frog issues, Glenn. Oh, chicken soup Glenn's in this one. Lemonade and cookies is what Tahani serves at focus groups, so I'd say. But they're having a focus group at Eleanor's house. She said that was an interesting decision. But it makes sense because then Tahani says, well, this will be the fourth most important party I've ever thrown. Like, instead of taking a focus group, they're going to have a, and I said, man, I know that they're going to leak out the other top three. That'll be cool to find out what the top three over time. Maybe I missed a couple already. Michael and Janet, his tie is like some kind of, he's with Janet. It's like a gold feather, like not gold though. More of a bronze, like a bronze age bronze, like feather tie. I mean, towards the center, it gets green. Really nice. Oh, I put here almost amber and a very yellow pocket square, like a royal type yellow to a gold. And he sends Janet to her void. Then they're going through who's going to be at the party, and Chidi has flashcards for everybody. They have phonetic names on them and also other info I couldn't read. I probably do love her. Is motivation correct? So there's a seed planted here because they're talking about love of real Eleanor versus fake. Chidi and Eleanor talking love. And he plants the seed like, is my motivation correct? Which is pays off. Secure score. Oh, her score goes up by 20 points. Because I think just because she helped Chidi make figure stuff out, maybe. I don't know why. And he has a big smile. He's standing by the shrimp, Chidi. Big jumbo shrimp with a jumbo smile. Real Jianyu. Oh, and fake Jianyu. Or Jason and real Jianyu have the same IQ. But real Jianyu had become, like, enlightened at age 7, so he'd stopped learning then. What does this say? I love bowls. Sayer chilies 50 times. Let me take a look here on the Sayer's chilies. It does not make any sense. Okay, so we got, he also says, I was pretty successful. That was so good. What did he do 50 times? Okay. Such fear. Who was the first one? Don't overthink it. Your score went up by 20 points. You have the exact same IQ. Oh, he saw red hot chili peppers 50 times. That makes sense. Saw, but I have a Y in there. Chilies 50 times. What does he love, though? He loves bowls. He had his, okay, that makes sense. It's a little bit like deciphering things. Jason did have a, now they didn't describe his personalized license plate, but it was that he loved BUTTSs. And I said, okay, well, I'd like to see that license plate to say, was it I space LOVE space BUTTS, or was it I, LUV, or I heart you can get sometimes? Was it, did he capitalize the B in butts, or all license plates capitalized? I don't know these questions. Hey, use some, I guess probably it's not as easy to read for lowercase. And again, Jason comes through for us because he can still help Michael relax when he touches him on his chest. And then we see Pillboy with his golf dimple hat. Jason is in a purple crushed tracksuit. I said, man, where do you buy one of those? I could use that. It'd probably get too hot. But still, Swansea Safe Company. There's a Jamaica drink there. I think Megan A is playing the clerk, my favorite writer on the show. What does this say? DiGiorgio or something. They put Megan A in the house. Lovely party, holy yellow dress. I said to Honey, like resplendent as always, but extra resplendent in this yellow. There was the macaroons, the sandwich macaroons, which it turns out we'll investigate that later. I mean, I'm definitely probably pronouncing it wrong, but there's a tree of those sandwich macaroon cookies or macaroon, I don't know, macaroons, whatever you call them. 2 kids, Madeline's, coconuts. Why does 2 kids, what's 2 kids mean in there? I don't know what the 2 kids is in there for. Megan A's name tag says Susan. 12:30, Michael gives his speech. Definitely, there's, in the background, there's like a punch bowl fountain. It's the fanciest thing I've ever seen. Like, it was gold and silver. It had flowers at the top. It frosted yellow, like red light behind glass in the middle of the fountain. This was just for serving drinks or something. Tahani says that Eleanor's the Walmart of friends. B-Day, Nefect, Glenn laughs. Oh, nobody's perfect. Nobody's nerfic, Eleanor says. And Glenn's the first person to laugh. Chicken Soup Glenn. First humor sucks up there. What does that mean? Glenn laughs first. Humor must suck there. That's what I put. Glenn laughs first. 39.93, negative 39.93 still. That's what Eleanor's point total is. But Eleanor figures out it's about motivation, man. Then I put, does it mean, so this did cause me a little bit of a personal dilemma because I said, does it mean, like, does Eleanor's realization, I guess because I like to, learn all my life lessons from comedy to like sitcoms anyway. That's how I always did it as a kid. He said, does that mean that it has no real moral value if your motivation is incorrect? Like if you're doing moral things, like does it have no moral value? And I put, what about fake it till you make it? Then Eleanor has a new plan with T-shirts and notes with Bo Buddy's Nerfic shirts that reminded me of my Spam shirt. They seem like the colors of the brand for Spam. I guess maybe because Michigan, maybe they're Michigan colors. Someone behind the show went to Michigan, or maybe, I don't know, or I guess Eleanor is supposed, like, I assume the character Eleanor did. Jason slept in his dad's office and Michael's office. It gave me a kick. It also reminded me of my brother-in-law who's married to my sister. He was big on call, but even before him and my sister were married, I wish everybody could spend time with me, my family, because I can't do it justice. But, a lot of people in my family, like my dad, is pretty awkward like me. My sister's husband's a very gregarious, friendly person. And he was really looking forward to calling my parents mom and dad. And I think it was before they were married, maybe at another wedding. Yeah, he said, hey, listen, like, because my sister wasn't there. So he was like out to lunch with my parents, and he said, hey, I think it's time for me to start calling you guys mom and dad now. What do you think, mom and dad? And my parents love him very much. I won't say his name, but I think they got a kick out of it. But it was also like a little, like, we have intimacy issues or vulnerability issues, whatever it is. Michael, my pen ran out of ink here, but Jason has left at Michael's office. He's got a gray pocket square and a black watch tie with that black watch pattern. Then we see how Jason goes to the big farm. Jason is her first love. Jason is Janet's first love. This is Janet. She's becoming so aware. So she says, I don't like leggings, his pants, and that other thing. He was also teaching her the Dorito flavors. Then another out. I don't know who goes out. Maybe that was when Jason goes out. Then we see that Eleanor's total has reached 1,362,322. And we're at the town square. On a side we don't really get a lot of views of, so we see Celestial Perk. Warm blankets. They're going to head to the neutral zone, finally, a medium place, which is good news for a lot of us. And low pajamas. Jason, then Jason's there, but he's in a more of a mud rust-colored warm-up suit. C arrives. What does that mean? C arrives. Jetpacks and such. Sweatsuit arrives. Sweatsuit C arrives. It's always a mystery, this, I don't really know what C arrives mean. But jetpacks and such, that's another store. And, sweatsuit. Oh, train arrives, but train doesn't start with the letter S. Oh, Sean. There we go. I knew I'd figure it out. S-E-A, and that could be an N. It could be also S-E-C, but it's Sean. The judge shows up. They take Sean's train as episode 12. Then we go into episode 12. Maybe they didn't take Sean's train yet. I don't know. But episode 12 is a really good opening. Because it starts, I think it starts, I can't remember the music now. I didn't write it down. I think it's My Way. And Eleanor's walking through a supermarket, like a regular supermarket. And it seemed like a regular one, not a chain one. Just because those ones are just more chill. Like, I don't know. They have, they have something about them that they haven't been vanilla and sanitized. To like where you say, I don't know, all I can do is impulsively buy things in this place. Like at an independent grocery store, you're more likely to have your other emotions creep in, like Eleanor is in the scene, or she's more numb. Yeah, the name of this episode is Mindy St. Eleanor buys a bottle of Basurio tequila, which basura means trash. Lonely Gal Margarita mix for one. And there's a cartoon character on the bottle who says, you don't need them anyway. We stay with the shrimp theme. Eleanor buys 99-cent shrimp. At the checkout, Tahani's on the cover of International Sophisticate with a dove in her hand. And the name of the article is Not Just Camilla's Sister. I guess that probably Tahani paid for that, or, she probably just, did some kind of sponsored content. We also learned, this was an awkward episode to watch with an 11-year-old, I think maybe the last one too. But we learned that Eleanor loves watching wedding fails on YouTube. But then we see how Eleanor goes out to the big farm. She uses the term whale humper. That was classic. Then they're on the train, and Jason already forgot where they were going. And Eleanor says, a medium place. And Jason says, can we have at 7-Eleven? I need gum, a fool brush. Oh, football cards. It looked like I said fool brush, which I don't know, or a foot brush. But football cards and scratchy tickets. Also, there's a caboose on there's the engine, one train car in the caboose. And then we learn things that Jason thinks are SEXY, because he's been teaching Janet about those things. Lamborghinis, spinning rims, 20,000 followers on Instagram, lollipops, latex pants, Carl's Jr.'s ads, and SEXY without the Y, blushing time, baby. Let's see. This was interesting. I put 2 question marks after it. Sean says he's there to try case 000, I think 4 zeros. I can look, 3. And I said, okay, double question mark, because they said we'll find out later in this episode, so it's not a spoiler, that Mindy St. Clair, I'd presume, is 00002. And so then I don't know if in season 2, I haven't seen all of season 2 yet. Do we get to find out who is it 00001? And was there 00000? Bad Janet uses the term jabronis. Pawns back on Michael's desk. Cold hard facts. That's what Sean likes. He also likes cocoons. When we get to Mindy St. Clair's neighborhood, her neighborhood is neighborhood N/A. So I don't know if that's not available or not applicable. I didn't know the difference. I didn't look that one up. Janet says she's out of range. And first Janet says, I love walking. Then very quickly, like a child, she says, I don't like walking. Then we get to see Mindy's welcome video where we get a little bit of her backstory. Trevor shows up on a BMX bike. I thought that was great. Warm beer. Eagles live covers of almost every song. So she's going to spend, Mindy St. Clair is in the medium place, I guess. It's eternal mediocrity. That is different than the medium place, I think. Mindy's been there for 30 years. She was a lawyer in the 1980s. She started a charity. She says, don't buy into this morality nonsense. Then we get to a view of Eleanor's 29th birthday at work. They brought her a chocolate frosted cake, but Eleanor seems to prefer a cake with white and pink frosting. Yeah, Sean wants the whole story. Not sure what that means. Most remain emotionless, like Kristen Stewart on the red carpet. That's at 10:21. And that's okay. That's like straight out of the podcast. Really fun, really great scene. Do yourself. I think that's at 10:21. I'll know in a second because I'm like watching the show out of the corner of my eye. Then they could do Eleanor's memories reviewed. They're in her house for that. Sean says, I've been asleep in goo for 29 years, like in his cocoon. That's when I put, so was Mindy's case 0002? Oh, because I put 2 and 2 together. Because 29 minus 30, I don't know why I guess I say, well, then maybe Mindy's case was number 2. Okay. So then we see, like, they put up a screen with some of Eleanor's things she's done. She heckled mall Santas 9 times. She took a selfie in the restroom at her aunt's funeral. 224 times she stuck gum in public places. She gave a B rating to a restaurant so it would be less busy. She took a scarecrow from a fall foliage display. This is when I love writing like that, from a fall, like so specific, to put in her car so she could go in the HOV lane. She lied about her age so she could eat off the kids' menu. She, under the influence, adopted dogs twice and then, didn't, unadopted them. Sneezed at the salad bar 12 times. 88 times youth fundraiser. I don't know what the rest of it is. I'll have to look here. Oh, actually, I won't be able to find it. She probably, like, 35 times of, she spoiled movie endings 35 times. She gave the the middle finger in traffic, 823 times. And then when she was not in traffic, she flipped people off 120 times. Eleanor adds a picture of her friend. Oh, yeah. So Eleanor brought a tote bag, actually, with her. And she has pictures of Chidi, I think, I don't know who else, maybe Tahani and Jason. And she has her own books. She gets to choose between Cannonball Run 2 and the making of Cannonball Run 2. I wonder what that youth fundraiser, 88 times youth fundraiser. I think she took things from youth fundraisers or bargained them down or something. Janet and Jason are trying to consummate their marriage. Then we see 24th birthday. Oh, and on Eleanor's 21st birthday, she crashes someone's quinceanera with an air horn. But Chidi still believes she's worth it. And he says, I helped her to Sean. And then Tahani says, I helped her too. That's what friendship is. That's what friends are for. Keep smiling. Like, really, Eleanor doesn't know, but she could always count on them for sure. Sean, Eleanor, and Jason, bad place. Oh, Sean says, you know what? Eleanor and Jason got to go to the bad place. I don't care. He enters the walkie-talkie protocol. What does this say? Web protocol, web or something. Oh, then we see Janet and Jason Sutra pictures. These are some of the things they're planning. Web crawler, triple-double. Those are just two. I think there's one or two more coming up, maybe. A couple I wouldn't, Chidi and Tahani, Sean says they're not innocent either. Oh, leapfrog and merry-go-round. Those were two other positions they were contemplating. So we don't really know a lot about Janet's anatomy or Jason's knowledge of any anatomy. Eleanor and bag. Oh, she starts packing up her tote bag. She uses a great line, what we owe each other. Oh, no, that's a book she's put in her bag, what we owe each other. Both Jason and Mindy St. say, don't do it. Mindy St. you just got to watch it for the comic relief. She has a lot of vase, or what are those called, urns around her house. I haven't really studied her house, but it comes up. We'll see it again. 1645, Michael comes in dressed as Janet with the final food for, because at some point Sean says, if Eleanor and Jason don't come back, Chidi and Tahani, you got to go to the bad place. And I guess Michael's assuming they're not going to come back. So he comes with their final food, dressed as Janet, with frozen yogurt with sprinkles on there. And Tahani says, I don't know how I'm going to deal with tap water and knockoff handbags. And Chidi says, you got to be kidding me, right? So that's what you think it's going on at the bad place? I just saw one of Eleanor's coffee cup. I think it said, maybe it was Andy's Coffee, the place, and it has her name on it. From Andy had to been in, Eleanor's boyfriend didn't like Andy's Coffee because Andy was Jerk. Then Eleanor's trying to get Janet to leave and start to train. And she uses a fast and furious term, ride or not ride, protocol. Also, we find out Jason has a phobia about the movie Ratatouille. And that was hilarious. Make things tolerable, not moral. Seems to be the Mindy St. and Jason way. And Eleanor says, you know what? No way. We got to own up. Then we meet Doug and Donna Shellstrop. And we learn that they're like her mom, Donna's a WrestleMania fan. Her dad's just lame. He's watching basketball. I couldn't tell if it was NBA or college basketball. Eleanor has him sign her emancipation papers. I can't remember I couldn't tell how old she was, like 12 maybe or 14. I don't know. I think she already had a couple jobs, but she did say she had to fake her age to get her first job or second job. But she's ready to move out on her own. Her mom also likes drinking rosé or blush through a straw. Oh, here's where everybody's talking slow. Yeah, there's 12 minutes left in the video. So that is the right time that I said before. Yeah, then they say, okay, we're going back. And they get back, Eleanor and Jason, but the time is up. Oh, no, the clock ends before they get back. And Sean says, put on these fedoras to Honey and Chidi. You're going to the bad place. And then they get back. I just saw, so it was like getting hassling youth at fundraisers. That's what it was. Selling various items at fundraisers. But yeah, so Sean says, okay. Then they get back. Sean sighs. He's got a great sigh there. Really good at seeming annoyed. Then he says, I just want to get back in my goo and go to sleep. I said, Sean, you should listen to this thing. And he gives him 30 minutes to decide who's going to the bad place out of the four of them. Jason, Eleanor, Tahani, or Chidi. And the episode comes to a close. So this is a pretty good episode. Now we'll run through some facts that I had to look up here. So we're going to start off with a Wikipedia article on fedoras, because I said, I probably have looked up a fedora before for this podcast, but then I said, I don't know, like, I know when I see it, but that's not, we can't, we got to dig a little bit deeper. And so, this is already useful. A fedora is a hat with a soft, I said, well, that was what Justin Timberlake used to wear. Or, that's what they say. What's a fedora? Scoots, tell us what a fedora is. A hat that was once on Justin J. Timberlake, but not anymore, probably. I mean, maybe 5 years from now, but currently, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, but that's what I say. Okay, he looks good in a fedora, or did. Maybe if those are fedoras, I don't know. But not many people, I'm like, who else could pull that off? Like, just off the top of my head, well, I don't know. It's a hat with a soft brim and an indented crown. Typically creased lengthwise down the crown and pinched near the front on both sides. They could also be creased with teardrop crowns, diamond crowns, center dents, and others. And the positioning of the pinches can vary. Typical crown height, though, 11 centimeters, 4.5 inches. And the brim can usually be 2.5, 6.4 centimeters wide, but maybe wider. It could be left raw edged, like left is cut. Those would be the ones you wear at like a Jimmy Buffett concert. Or, you see like, or finished with sewn overwelt or underwelt, or bound with a trim ribbon. Stitched edge means that there's 1, 2, or more crowns of rows of stitching radiating inward towards the crown. The Kavanaugh edge, both words capitalized, is a welted edge with invisible stitching to hold it in place, and is a very expensive treatment that can be no longer performed by modern hat factories. So that's how you get you're getting a bespoke hat if it has that on there. Let's see. Don't confuse them with small brimmed hats, by the way. A special variation is a rollable, float away, or crushable fedora. That sounds handy. Maybe that's, I just don't know if it covers your ears. The term fedora is in use. It started in use in 1891. Its popularity eventually soared when it eclipsed the similar-looking Homburg, Homburg. It comes from a 1882 play, Fedora, which was written for Sarah Bernhardt and first performed in the United States in 1889. Bernhardt played Princess Fedora Romazov, the heroine of the play. Oh, and she was during the play, she wore a center creased soft brim hat. Prince of Wales took on the thing in 1924. And they, the Prohibition, they were cool with people running bootlegging. Tom Landry is another one who wore fedora. Indiana Jones. This is, Vice refers to the early 2000s as a fedora renaissance. Yeah, see, I said Jay Timberlake. Also, they say Johnny Depp and Pete Doherty. But by 2016, it is, no longer. So that's a little bit about fedoras. If you have stock in fedoras, I'd say hold it. It'll come back. Like, don't sell it. Hold on to that stock. What about Cannonball Run 2? Was that the first Cannonball Run movie I saw or not? Because it wasn't Cannonball Run 1. I think it was Cannonball Run 2. And I saw that on HBO as a kid, and it definitely I didn't see Cannonball Run till I was probably like in my, like 18 to 22. But Cannonball Run 2 is a 1984 American comedy starring Burt Reynolds and an all-star cast set around a cross-country race. It was the last of the formula comedies for Reynolds. It also had Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, as long as also Sammy Davis Jr. and Shirley MacLaine. So it was a final on-screen appearance of the Rat Pack team. Jamie Farr was in it, Ricardo Montalban. Some, and I say, well, this is an 80s movie, not exactly open-minded, I think. They have like a mad scientist, and then JJ, Burt Reynolds, and Dom DeLuise racing. And let's see, then you have Dean Martin and Sammy Davis. Charles Nelson Riley's in it. Telly Savalas. So, wow, it really is like Mary Lou Henner. As we said, Shirley MacLaine, Jackie Chan. It kind of plays like a spy-like character. Who we have here? Susan Anton, Catherine Bach, Mel Tillis and Tony Danza, an orangutan, Tim Conway and Don Knotts, Jim Neighbors, so Alex Rocco, Abe Vigoda, holy moly. And who else? Anybody else? But basically, it's a cross-country race. Let's see how the box office was. Opening weekend, 8.3 million. 32nd most popular 1984 film. Lifetime gross at 28 million. Took in half the takings of the first movie. Only a 14% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Probably a good Saturday afternoon movie. Roger Ebert gave it a half star out of 4. So maybe not. I mean, maybe you have to see it when you're a little kid. Gene Siskel also gave it said it gave movies a bad name. And he said it was his least favorite film he saw during his time on at the movies with Ebert. So, wow, it got the Golden Raspberry Award. So I guess it didn't do very good. I guess it like in my memory it has, but I haven't seen the movie in a long time. But it was the first Cannonball Run movie I saw. Though I guess when I went back to Cannonball Run, we were watching like we would be doing things and watching Cannonball Run, and then the movie where Burt Reynolds was like I think Hooper, I think it was called. What about BMX bikes? So that also came up, and originally denoting a bicycle intended for BMX racing. The term BMX bike is now used to encompass race bikes, those used for dirt, park, street, flatland, and all BMX disciplines of BMX. BMX frames are made of different types of steel, aluminum. The cheaper low-end bikes are usually made from steel. High-end bikes are chromoly or high-tensile steel. All those can be heavy, so high-performance bikes are usually lightweight chromoly. The introduction and widespread popularity of the cassette hub ushered in the use of smaller gearing on BMX bikes. Instead of the old 44/16 gearing on older bikes, they now use gearing 33/13, 12, 11, 28/10, and other ones. All of which have gear ratios of 2.8 to 1. Advantages of smaller gearing include lighter weight, more clearance when grinding. Freestyle hub is all extinct due to several factors. The smallest freestyle wheels can be made is with 8 teeth, and they're less consistent than cassette hubs. And most freestyle, street, and park BMX bikes have 36 spokes. Race bikes also have 36 spokes. But the smallest racers, like little kids, can ride bikes with 18 or 28 spokes. Some people going hardcore might want up to 48 spokes, but those are becoming difficult to source, according to Wikipedia here. let's get into history, though. BMX started in the 70s when children became, just like a lot of great things, kids started racing in Southern California on dirt tracks, drawing inspiration from motocross superstars. The size and availability of the Schwinn Stingray made it the natural bike of choice, since they were easily customized for better handling and performance. And it became a phenomenon by the mid-'70s. Children were racing bikes off-road, especially built tracks in California. The 1972 motorcycle racing documentary On Any Sunday, it could have inspired the movement because its opening scene shows kids riding Schwinn Stingrays off-road. George Esser founded the National Bicycle League as a nonprofit motocross sanctioning organization in 1974. And then they also promoted motorcycle racing, too. But they, with their kids, they enjoyed BMX racing. And it didn't have the absence of the presence of the National Bicycle Association prompted George to start the NBL in Florida. This is exciting stuff. 1977, the ABA was American Bicycle Association, was organized by naturals. Okay, so that's probably enough about BMX. It started in Southern California, where that's where all the cool stuff starts. Here's something I never knew the answer to. What does a caboose do? I mean, I lived my life, and I love the word caboose. It's a beautiful word. It's something you're always looking for as a kid. You expect it to be red. It doesn't always red. But what does a caboose do? I did not know. So it's a miracle of this podcast. Maybe I'll even remember. A caboose is a manned North American rail car coupled at the end of a freight train. They provide shelter for the crew at the end of the train, who are long required for switching, shunting, keeping a lookout for load shifting, equipment damage, overheating axles. Originally, flat cars fitted with cabins or modified boxcars. Later, they became purpose-built with projections above or to the sides of the car to allow the crew to lean out and observe the train from shelter. It also served as the conductor's office, and on long routes included accommodation and cooking facilities. A similar railroad car design, the brake van, was used in British and Commonwealth trains. And now there they probably had better, regulations because it also served the function as supplemental braking systems for trains not fitted with continuous braking systems and keeping chain couplings taut. They were used on every freight train till the 80s. Cabooses were used on every freight train until the 1980s when safety laws requiring the presence of cabooses and full crews were relaxed. What a ripoff. People got to work on a train now without a caboose. Developments in modern, other stuff, nowadays are only used on, holy cow, that stinks. Use of cabooses started in the 1830s when railroads housed trainmen in shanties built onto boxcars or flat cars. But the caboose provided the train crew with shelter at the rear of the train. They could exit the train for switching or to protect the rear of the train when stopped. They could also check the train, as we said. So there's a little bit about cabooses. And I guess when a child asks, Papa, what happened to cabooses, you could say, it was a bunch of jabronis that's what happened to the cabooses, which was a term used here. And according to Wikidictionary, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson used to use the term a lot as a rendition of the wrestling term jobber, who loses to make one of the other wrestlers look better. It had been used in the past. So that's where it comes from. A performer whose primary role is to lose to establish a talent. So I guess it wouldn't be a jabroni that got rid of the cabooses, because that would mean, it'd be a jabroni that took credit. Say, well, I'm the one that got rid of cabooses. So Scoots did. But now it just means somebody that doesn't win. So I guess we're the jabronis because we live in a world without cabooses, except, when they're there for just looking purposes. Okay, what about IQ? Really quick, let's get some facts out here. It's a total score derived from several standardized tests, the intelligence quotient. They say it assesses human intelligence. The abbreviation was coined by William Stern in a 1912 book. It is typically obtained by dividing the person's mental age score after administering an intelligence test by their real age, and it's expressed in terms of years and months. Resulting fractions multiplied by 100 to get the IQ score. If you could follow any of that, your IQ score is much higher than mine. It was something about median raw score. They're estimates of intelligence, by the way. But I do listen to a podcast by someone that has like a genius IQ, and he's I love listening to him. He's a genius analytically, and just he also has like a general intelligence and interest and curiosity about the world. So yeah, that's a little bit about it. There's a lot more to dig into, but I just wanted to say, what was it? Okay, so Jamaica, that's how I pronounce it, which is Jamaica, which I get to, like I said, if you listen to this podcast a lot, I was lucky enough to spend a year in East Los Angeles at the tail end of the 90s working there. And it really got that went to jabronis, so we don't have that info. But Jamaica, that's how, I may be mispronouncing it, but that's how I thought I learned to, I thought this was supposed to go to hibiscus tea. Let me look up hibiscus tea, though, in here. Oh, beverage, here we go. Tea made of hibiscus flowers is known by many names in many countries around the world. It's served both hot and cold. Jamaica is usually served cold, known for its red color, tartness, and unique flavor. This has a high vitamin C content. It's known as basap in West Africa, gul khatmi, maybe in Urdu and Persian, and agua de Jamaica in Mexico and Central America, because it's known as the Flor de Jamaica. Or Hul in India, Roselle in Jamaica, Trinidad, in Caribbean, it could be known as Sorrel. So just a cool drink made from hibiscus flowers. It has just a very unique taste, and I do enjoy it ice cold. Speaking of spices, what about these Spice Girls? Who are they that Tahani was talking about? Well, they're an English pop group from 1994. Holy mackerel. Melanie Brown, who played Spice, Melanie Chisholm, Sporty Spice, Emma Bunton, Baby Spice, and Jerry Halliwell, Ginger Spice, and Victoria Beckham, Posh Spice. They signed to Virgin Records, released their debut single, Wannabe, in 1996, number one hit in 37 countries. Their debut album sold 31 million copies. The follow-up album, Spice World, sold 20 million copies. They've sold 80 million records worldwide. One of the best-selling pop groups of all time, and the biggest British pop phenomenon since Beatlemania. Among the high-profile acts in the 1990s, been called the most recognizable face of cool Britannia in the 90s. They did a 2007-2008 reunion tour. They still have have a pop cultural relevance, whatever you say. They had a movie. They were coining the term girl power. I don't know if they coined it, but they popularized it. They made a movie, Spice World. They're known for, they're still doing a lot of good things. Global grosses of the movie, maybe 500 to 800 million. They're mentees of Simon Fuller. They embraced merchandising and a regular feature in the global press. And it was an idea of like kind of competing with the popular boy bands was what their formation was. So just a little bit about the Spice Girls. And then finally, let's clear up this macaroon. I don't know. So when I heard up until, 10 years ago, when I thought of a macaroon, I thought of a coconut macaroon. And that is one of my favorite cookies. I don't consume a lot of them, maybe like once every few years is a macaroon. They're like a coconut macaroon. But then at some point, you start seeing these fancy sandwich cookies, which are spelled similarly. I thought they was the same word, but it turns out they're different. And they said, whence went my childhood? Like, was there ever a coconut macaroon, or is that another thing I imagined before the podcast? And so then I Googled it, and actually Sherry's Berries, of all places, has an article from 2016, March 29th. It says macaroon, Macarons, versus macaroons, Macaroons. What's the difference? And it says, do you know the difference between these two popular cookie types? And I said, nope. I know what the difference they look like is. And they say, once I start thinking about that delicious coconut cookie, I can't, like I said, well, the sandwich cookie's not for me. According to this, aside from being delicious and similar in spelling, they're entirely different cookies, so hold the phone. So first off, a macaroon, which has two O's, is coconut-based, where a macaron, we'll just say, is meringue-based. The amount of difficulty, here's to go. They get here we go, the proletariat, whatever. I don't know who that is, the top or whatever. They got to throw this around. The amount of difficulty making them are extreme opposites. One will have you stressing in the kitchen for hours, while the other can be whipped up in minutes. Macarons, okay, they even have how to spell it, range in color and flavors while macaroon versus macaron. While they're both great to take to parties, you wouldn't take a macaroon to a French soiree. Well, excuse me, unless they like coconut, know-it-all. We got macaroon angst. Still not sure what we mean. We break it down for you in our infographic. So the macaron with one O actually comes from the word macaroni. It's meringue-based. It usually has almond flour, egg whites, and sugar. And they were once a single cookie recipe thought to have been brought from Italy to France by Catherine de' Medici. And they got an upgrade from a tasty upgrade and became the sandwich cookie we know and love today. I mean, I would love to have a macaron tree like at Tahani's place. But if we could just come up with different, say, fancy sandwich cookies, I guess that doesn't do it either. But it's just too confusing for me. Because, like I said, I can't get coconut out of my mind. And they say, well, yeah, I could go for that coconut, but yeah, so what's in a macaron? Oh, no, macaroon we're talking about now. If that comes from the French word macaron, grated coconut, egg whites, and powdered sugar. There's many macaroon or origin stories, but it's probably an American twist on the French macaron. Thanks to Indian imports in the 1800s, coconut became a hot item among bakers and was used to I guess, how would a sandwich cookie? Okay, well, let's see the characteristics of a macaron. Fanoni frone. A delicate, that's a little Flavor Flav, by the way. Fanoni, anyway, a delicate eggshell-like crust with a meringue inner texture. It has a delicious filling of either ganache, buttercream, or fruit jam. Ratio of the cookie to filling 2-to-1, but don't overdo it, they say. It's not overly sweet, and there's a lot of varieties of colors and flavors. Man, they must not sell macaroons, because they say macaroon is lumpy and dense texture for a homemade, chewy feel. Shredded coconut gives it its signature taste and texture. Extremely sweet. You can also get chocolate-dipped ones, lemon-flavored ones, squared ones. They only take 10 to 20 minutes to bake, but, those have love in them. I think they both probably do. Man, this article really is throwing these cookies. It says there are versions, they're crumbly and messy to eat. For the macarons, says requires patience, skill, and practice. The key step is called macaronage. I said, man, holy Flavor Flav. Ground almonds and sugar are carefully folded in the meringue. And these aren't crumbly. They're easy and clean to eat. My rear end. I know when a marketer's written something. Best enjoyed within a couple of days. Average cost per cookie, $2.50. Average cost of macaroon, $1.50. And they can last up to 3 months if frozen. Yeah, so that's a little bit about macaroons versus macarons. I mean, I guess you know where I'll eat a cookie. Did it say $2.50 a cookie versus $1 cookie? No chance of that. I don't think. I mean, that would mean if you made 24 cookies of the macaroons, no way those cost. I'd say 40 cents a cookie for a macaroon. Now, macaron, I bet you it's expensive because you need almond flour, egg, like in that other meringue stuff. I don't even know how you make that. Don't you need to whip? I think to make a meringue, you got to whip. You got to make fluffy egg whites, right? So, I mean, yeah, I'll eat them, and I probably would enjoy them because I do love almond. Anything with almond. I mean, maybe I'm a macaroon fan and a macaron fan. Who you say macaroon? I say macaron. Actually, no, we're talking about two different cookies. So let's call the whole thing off. Anyway, just like a creamy folded cookie, I want you to gently rest with your pillows nearby and get comfortable and sink into bed, folding you, like a meringue, like puffy clouds underneath you, soothing and comforting you as you drift off. Good nights. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots tucking you in, but I got a question. Do you feel tucked in by your current mattress? Because I tell you what, I do. I love my Helix mattress. Before it came, I was sleeping in a temporary mattress, and it did not suit me. And it did not set me up for a good day every day with the aches and pains and the tossing and the turning. And a quality mattress that fits your sleep needs, your feel preferences, does make a big difference in looking forward to going to bed, being comfortable in bed, and being rested throughout the day. And for me, taking that Helix quiz, getting matched with a mattress because I like to sleep cool. I sleep on my side. I sleep on my stomach. I wanted something firmer. It made a big difference. But what about you? Think about the mattress you're in right now. And then take that Helix quiz, helixsleep.com/sleep. It'll match you with the perfect mattress based on your personal preferences and sleep needs. It makes buying a mattress so easy. Helix is an awarded mattress brand. I mean, it's got the Scoot seal of approval, but it's also been tested and reviewed by experts like Forbes and Wired. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the U.S., and you can rest easy with seamless returns and exchanges. The Happy with Helix guarantee offers a risk-free customer-first experience designed to ensure you're completely satisfied with your new mattress. There's a 120-night sleep trial and a limited lifetime warranty. And Helix helps you sleep better. They even did a study where they found that 82% of those involved saw an increase in their deep sleep cycle while sleeping on a Helix mattress. And they got a deal waiting just for you. All right, so go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. That's helixsleep.com/sleep. Take that Helix quiz. Let me know which mattress you got matched with. Thanks, everybody.